Hello, my lovely audience. You all are welcome to this lovely channel where we discuss about astrology, palmistry, and spirituality. I'm your friend, astrologer Shivam. So, today we are going to talk about this full moon which is falling into the sign of Taurus. And here we are talking about the Vedic sidereal astrology. Now, this full moon is falling into the sign of Taurus and the nakshatra of Rohini, right? And this full moon is very special because this is a full moon where the moon will feel its full energy, because in the nakshatra of Rohini, right, because it is the most favorite nakshatra of moon. Rohini means the beautiful one. Rohini means the energy of creation, and Rohini was the favorite wife of Lord Moon. So it will exhibit lot of romantic energy in this time period. It is a time to attract your abundance, growth, and prosperity. This is a time when you will feel your materialistic desires popping up out, and it is a time to feel your contentment. It is a time to feel your family security, because this full moon is into the fourth pada of the nakshatra of Rohini, and along with Mars, right? Mars is retrograde and fiery. So you have to avoid any kind of jealousy, competition, aggressive behaviors in your relationship. And it is moving to the water sign of Cancer, which means that the Mars will debilitate in the D9 chart, the Navamsha chart. But this combination of Mars and Moon, the Moon will bring you out of the emotional troubles, of the family struggles. Sign of Taurus directly relates to materialistic security, your desires, your family values, your accumulations, right? Which is materialistic accumulation, land, properties, your jewelry, right? And even the family values. So it is a good time. So this moon cycle, a lot of people will be finding new homes, or they will be willing to shift to newer places or to explore their life, right? And on the other end, as we understand this full moon completely, it is a time to leave all your anxieties behind. It is a time when you have to put yourself on the path of progress. And the Venus, in which the sign, in the ruler of the sign of Taurus, has shifted to the fiery sign of Sagittarius along with Mercury, right? So it is a very good sign that your materialistic things will prosper in this time period. And Rohini was the most, beautiful wife of Lord Moon. And here the moon feels at its peace, right? All the romantic energy, love energy, creative energy is popping out of the moon. So to put forward this is the best time to put forward your creative side. This is the best time to put forward your romantic side, and also doing prayers related to your growth, abundance, and prosperity. Even spirituality cannot be well achieved. You cannot be, completely spiritual if you are lacking materialistically, right? There would be no fulfillment without it, right? So this is a time when you have to pray and meditate towards your materialistic abundance and growth, right? Since Moon and Mars are very close to each other, right? So you do not have to show any kind of short-temperedness, and you have to avoid any kind of rough communication with your people around, right? And this full moon means differently for each one of the person, right? From starting from the sign of Aries till the sign of Pisces, it means differently for each one of the signs. And from the fire sign people to the water sign people, it has all the different meanings, right? So especially, now we will start with each one of the signs, starting from the fire sign people. Now what are the fire signs? The sign of Aries, the sign of Leo, and the sign of Sagittarius. For the fire sign people, this full moon is strongly influencing your second house, your sixth house, and your 10th house. And remember, my lovely audience, here we are talking about the Vedic astrology rising sign and the moon signs, right? So for you people, this is a time to pray for your financial abundance. This is a time when you will spend most of the time arranging things in your family, right? It is a time when your focus will also get onto your profession, because your 10th house is also very active in this time period. And yes, the planet Mars is giving a lot of strength to all these houses. So there can be certainly some materialistic gains coming in this time period. But the other thing is that you have to stick to your hard work, because the way the sun is placing, some of you are lacking motivation and you are lacking your willpower, right? So you have to exhibit your willpower and you have to be on time at your work, to your commitments. You have to be on time because you are not doing things on time in this time period. Since Venus and Mercury are getting together, so there will be quite a good improvement in your relationship, and even your business relationships will improve in this time period, because the fire sign people have been through a cycle of overthinking, right? Although they are very, a doer kind of people, helpers, but there has been a lot of confusions and a lot of, overthinking because of the presence of Rahu into the fire sign of Aries, and it is giving aspect to the sign of Leo as well as the sign of Sagittarius, right? So this is a time when you have to trust your own vision. This is a time when you have to trust your instincts, right? People can lie, people can behave differently, but you have to trust yourself in this time period. Financial prayers related to abundance, growth, and prosperity are gonna help you in this time period. Especially praying to Lord Ganesha, simply chanting the mantra of Lord Ganesha, Om Gam Ganpate Namaha, this moon cycle. Specifically chanting this mantra 21 times in the morning will help you to get rid of your obstacles, problems, and will lead you on the path of growth and prosperity, right? So make sure that you are praying to Lord Ganesha in this time period. As the Jupiter is placing in the 12th house, so 12th house, 4th house and 8th house, right? So keep a check on your expenses and avoid any kind of confrontations within your family life that can lead you into trouble. And yes, there have been many differences in your partnership or your relationship, and with love, with romantic energy, you can conciliate those differences in this time period. So this moon cycle for next few days, you can add some rose petal to your bathing water. That would help you to get rid of any kind of negativity in the matters of your love and relationship, and you would also attract some prosperity towards yourself. So best of luck to my fire sign people. And next we are going to talk about the earth sign people. Now what are the earth signs? The sign of your Taurus, right? The most influenced sign. The sign of your Capricorn and the sign of Virgo. These three are the earth signs, the practical ones, the calculative ones, and the hardworking ones. For all these three signs, they are the most influenced ones in this full moon, right? Because the moon is falling into the sign of Taurus. This is a time when you have to enhance your personality. This is a time when you have to follow your heart. This is a time when you have to, grow in your spheres. And surely this is a time when prosperity will come towards you. And yes, you can experience a lot of mood swings in this time period, right? Especially for the people who have their placements into the sign of Taurus, and especially the nakshatra of Rohini, right? And you people can experience a lot of moodiness, and this will ultimately lead you towards growth. This will ultimately lead you towards light. It is a good time to show your romantic side, and opportunity related to love can be on the cards in this time period, right? There can be opportunities related to love, romance, and your attraction in this time period. And for some of you, there can be short travels related to near the sea or the water bodies, which will help you to grow. And another thing is that you are gonna be a magnet in this time period. Trust me, you will become, or you will attract the things what you want to in this time period, right? Because the influence of moon is very strong on you in the first house, the fifth house, and the ninth house. So make sure that this moon cycle you are only imagining, manifesting, or focusing on the positive things, positive outcomes, positive things, right? Especially for the earth sign people, that is the rising sign and the moon sign people I'm talking about. And yes, leaving the differences of the past behind, it is very important for you people, focusing on your real-time growth in this time period, right? And you can experience certain kind of competition from the people around you, right? They can behave in a competitive manner or in a jealous manner, the way the sun is placing. So make sure that you are not behaving in a very overly humble way, right? You are protecting your honor, your dignity, right? So you have to make sure about it. Yes, I will be telling the mantra in the end. So you have to protect your dignity and honor in this time period, my lovely, lovely earth sign people I'm talking about. And you will also get some secretive information about the things happening around you, because the way the Rahu is influencing the 12th house, 8th house, and 4th house, you're definitely gonna stay investigative in your things, right? Again, and keep up with your investigations. They are gonna help you to lead towards the truth in your life. But you are not competing with anyone. Your competition is with yourself. You have to outgrow your spheres, your foundations, and you have to improve in your own journey. So best of luck to my lovely earth sign people. Now next we are going to talk about the air sign people. Now what are the air sign? The sign of Gemini, right? The sign of Libra and the sign of your Aquarius. For all these three rising sign and moon signs, this is a time when you have to focus on letting it go. This is a time when you have to focus on your rejuvenation. This is a time when you have to focus on your family, nurturance, love, right? And this is a good time to engage yourself into real estate, into grocery business. If you are having any kind of luxury things, luxury work going on, if you want to buy something, this is a good time for you, right? And especially the confusions related to your relationship, marriage, your balance into relationship, they're going to fade away in this time period, right? So Jupiter is also helping you to direct you in the right direction. So you have to make sure that you have to follow your heart, do what is right, because Jupiter is naturally placing in the influencing the earth sign houses where the moon is placing. So the teacher is looking after the natural houses of the moon right here where it is in the exaltation. So you have to make sure that you have to follow what is right, not just what your heart says, but you have to follow what is right. And it is more important to let it go in this time period. Do not stay aggressive or anxious about the things which are not in your control, right? Let it go. And there has been a lot of dry spell in your love life, right? And the love life and your Ketu, the way it is placing, influencing your air sign houses. Hello Saurabh, influencing your air sign houses. It wants you to stick towards spirituality, right? Once you are sticking to spirituality, your humbleness, your easiness, it will push your love life into the right direction. And even Venus and Mercury, the way they have come, this is a time to explore your friend circle, and your circle will grow and it will explode, especially for the people working into media, broadcasting, creative thing, your sales of things, right? Any kind of sales, right? You're gonna grow in this time period. And even people working as accountants, assistants, they are gonna grow in this time period, especially the financial sector people, right? So you might find good opportunities in this time, coming time of recession, right? You might find good opportunities, right? Have my word, in this time period. And you are a very good help to others in this time period. Your word of advices to others in this time, they will help them grow. Focus more on cooperation with others, even if you are feeling that someone is not favoring you or gelling up well with you. Be focus more on cooperation than confronting or being competitive with others, right? Because this is a time when you have to grow your circle, when you have to grow yourself. And yes, people can be harsh with their words, right? But they can be favorable with their actions towards you, right? Focus more on the action part, not on what they speak, right? So the main mantra for you can be that I am the creator of my own destiny, and I let go all my doubts, fears and anxieties, right? And make sure that you are going for a trip or some relaxation around the water body this weekend, right? It will help you to contemplate new and positive thoughts, right? Because this full moon initially can be very heavy or can be very, I would say that emotional for you, right? But as the time progresses, this is going to be a great moon cycle for you, right? So best of luck to my lovely air sign people, right? New connections are on the cards, right? So best of luck to you. Now next we are going to talk about the water sign people, my lovely water sign people. They're the most empathetic, helping, intelligent and supportive kind of people, right? They are very loyal with people around them, right? And yes, they feel a lot of emotional hurt. Then we are talking about the sign of Cancer, Scorpio and the sign of Pisces. For all these three ascendants and rising signs, right? This is a time when you have to focus on your circle. This is a time when you have to focus on multiplication. This is a time when your focus will be on your relationships, right? And it is a time to go public. It is a time to stay more outwards, right? You have to go for the outings, relax yourself, ease yourself, right? And since the Jupiter is placing very strong into the water sign of Pisces and influencing the sign of Cancer and your sign of Scorpio, right? So this is a time when you have to be decisive, when you have to focus on what is right, when you have to focus on spirituality, when you have to accept the situations as they are, right, in the reality. And you have to understand everything in a very positive light with your higher self, right? Not just as a common man stuck in all the worldly things, but with your higher self energy, with your higher wisdom. You have to understand it, right? No, we are talking about the Cancer. And your heart, these sign water sign people, your heart resides in others, right? You are someone who would always love to keep the others very happy, right? And there will be all the different set of people around you. And even for you, working in corporations, working with your friends is gonna benefit you, right? And especially for the Cancer sign, there has been a lot of dry spell when it comes to relationship, and they are experiencing cold shoulders at times. But the sun, the way it is placing, right, you have to show your leading side, you have to show your decisive side, you have to show your determined side, that nothing can bow you down, nothing can bring you down, right? And you have to face everything with a smile and grace on yourself, right? So you have to be graceful in all the situations, right? And accept as they are. I see a lot of financial abundance coming your way. Yes, you are not feeling at peace at your home, right? With your family members. It's okay. Stay outgoing, relax yourself, ease yourself up, right? And especially, you know, there has been a lot of obsession related to your work, your profession. You have been looking onto doing everything with a, tinge of perfection, right? Set it at ease. All your plans will fall into place. I assure you, I assure you. And for most of you, you may get a good, position or responsibility at your workplace. The way that Jupiter is aspecting your sun, you may get important position, and even your bosses will be happy with your brain, with your intelligence and your decision making ability, right? You may doubt it, right? But I have no doubts that you will do well in this time period. But yes, do not be touchy about the behaviors of others in this time period, especially the relationship part, right? So you have to be at ease. You have to focus more on your feminine friends, female friends, because moon is influential, but the ones who give you positivity, with the ones who are strong natured, because the Mars is influencing, retrograde Mars, and they are falling into the water. They in the fourth pada, in the Navamsha, they're moving into the water sign of Pisces. So this moon is nullifying the malefic effect of this Mars, right? So you have to stay strong headed, right? You have to believe in your charm. You have to believe in your own journey, right? And you have to stay that way this moon cycle. And another thing, focus on your health. Some of you may feel tightness or congestion in your chest region. So deep breathing will help you in this time period. And the best remedy for you in this time is that go out with friends, have some good food. Have some good food, right? That is very important, right? Rohini loves enjoyment, right? So good food, enjoying, relaxing is always good for you, right? And simply, if you are feeling lack of confidence, you can simply offer water to the sun this Sunday. And if you wish to grow your finances, you can just add a pinch of turmeric to your bathing water right from today itself, right? You can do it because it's Thursday. So you can do it for your financial gains and abundance, right? So best of luck to my lovely water sign people. Now next we are going to talk about all the signs, right? Starting from the sign of Aries till the sign of Pisces. So stick with me, because in between I'll be giving you the remedies, the tips, right? And you know it all together. So for the sign of Aries, now we are here talking about the rising sign of Aries and the moon sign. For the sign of Aries, this is a time when you have to leave your overthinking behind. This is a time when you have to focus on your financial abundance. It's a time when you have to focus on the growth and nurturing of your family. And this is a time when you have to speak positively about your family, your finances, and your abundance, right? Yes, you have been putting in a lot of hard work and you have been feeling as if it is not giving you results. And in this time period, you have to specifically take care of your stomach or your intestinal health. And you have to avoid all the kinds of dry without any water element kind of foods, because the way the Ketu and the sun is placing, Ketu in the 7th house, the sun in the 8th house, it will trouble you, right? And chanting the mantras or manifestations related to abundance will help you to grow in this time period. You have been through a journey of overthinking, right? And this is a time to leave your overthinking behind. This is a time when you have to be practical about your life. This is a time when your partner will start to favor you, right? You have to look through the larger prism. You have to look through your wiser side, right? Not just making yourself as the central figure of the things, but you have to look around from the others shoes, right? You have to be empathetic. You have to put yourself in the situations of others and then understand the whole scenario, right? And that will help you to grow and exhibit your romantic and good communicative side with your partners. This will help you to better your relationship in this time period. And if you are facing any kind of troubles related to sleep, right, you can simply chant the mantra of Lord Shiva, Om Namah Shivaya, and then sleep well. Or you can take a yellow pillow while sleeping. That will give you a very calming sleep, right? The color should be fast yellow, not any kind of dull yellow, right? The fast yellow, right? So best of luck to my lovely fire sign people. And yes, you have been facing challenges at your workplace at times, right? But you have to stay positive and you have to stay hardworking in this time period. So best of luck to the fire sign of Aries, right? So next we are going to talk about the sign of Taurus, the most influenced sign in this time period. For the rising sign and moon sign of Taurus, this is a time when you have to grow your personality. This is a time that you are the creator of your own destiny. This is a time when your loving side and your aggressive side both will come out together. It is for you to decide. You will always have two options in this time period to decide whether to exhibit your loving side or to stay aggressive, right? So aggression in the coming days can be a trouble for you because the way the Mars is retrograde in the first house, so you do not have to you do not have to jump onto the conclusions. You do not have to exhibit your aggressive side, right? But this is a good combination to work into the land related professions, real estate related profession, or it can give you an urgency to change your house or your place of living. Because even otherwise, this combination of moon and Mars coming together in the Rohini Nakshatra, people will experience a lot of movement, shifting, or a lot of change of place in this time period, right? And you have to, do it very wisely, right? Considering your finances altogether. And especially moon and Mars coming together is a strong indicator in the first house that you have to show strong willpower. You have to show your stronger side. And this combination, since the Lord of the sign Venus is placing in the 8th house and along with Mercury, so you have to do your due research in this time period. You have to focus on the transformation. You have to focus on secretive revelations in this time period. People working into the field of IT, into any kind of hotel business, into any kind of hospitality business, you're gonna grow in this time period, right? And secondly, you people will be working on your friend circle. So any kind of advice coming from your elders or any kind of the ones whom you feel are wiser than you or your mentors will be very helpful for your finances. And try making secondary sources of income in this time period. It will be very helpful for you people, right? So God bless you. Have a lovely moon, this full moon, right? So next we are going to talk about the sign of Gemini. For the sign of Gemini, this is a time when this full moon is strongly influencing your 12th house. It is a time to let it go. It is a time to give a run to your imagination. It is a time when you may feel your sleep is getting disturbed, but you have to focus on resting and sleeping well, right? It is a time when you can plan your trips, right? and it is a time when you can go out for a retreat. And I would say that because of this Moon and Mars combination, for the ones working as astrologers or healers, counselors, psychologists, or any kind of counseling business, it can be like a teacher or educational counseling, client counseling, or anything. You are going to grow in this time period. Your marketing abilities are going to be well in this time period, since the Mercury has started to gain strength in the sign of Sagittarius along with Venus. So relation with your opposite sex, opposite gender are gonna improve in this time period. For the next few days, love will bloom like anything, right? And even your public relations are gonna improve in this time period, right? Do take care of your stomach, right? Do take care of the element of fire in your body, and especially avoid consuming any kind of processed foods or too much cold foods. And lately many of you have been lacking, I would say that many of you have been lacking discipline, right? Because the way the sun is moving. So focus more on getting disciplined in this time period, right? And yes, because the Rahu is aspecting this Moon and Mercury, so you can have more than one interest in relationship at this point of time, and avoid such things. And I would say that this is a good time to multiply your money or to multiply your circle, because your public houses are very active in this time period, right? The pap grahas or the natural malefics are influencing your public houses. Venus in its own house of 7th house, Rahu in the 11th house, Mercury, the neutral planet, in the 7th house. So Mercury will more behave in a witty manner in this time period, right? So your ability to explain things, your ability to market things, or your ability to talk with people is gonna be exponentially well in this time period. And another thing is that since Ketu is disturbed in the 5th house, so at times you're gonna lack some zeal, and you have to carry the things with a lot of zeal in this time period, right? Your zeal is going to be the driving force in this time period. So set yourself on the positive note and just do it what you believe in, right, in this time period. And avoid any kind of competition with old people, right? Any senior or old people at your workplace, avoid any competition, especially the one with white hair, gray hairs, right? So avoid any kind of competition with those people. And yes, feminine energy is going to be supportive for you in this time period. So best of luck to my lovely Gemini rising, Gemini moon sign people. Now next we are going to talk about the sign of Cancer, my lovely sign of Cancer. For the Cancer rising sign and the moon sign, this is a time when you will be focusing onto your friend circle. This is a time when you will be very outgoing. This is a time when your income, money, friend circle is gonna grow. And this is a time when you may feel some kind of coldness or real-time check in your relationship, because the karmic planet Shani, that is Saturn, is strongly influencing the 7th house, right? But yes, where there is darkness, there is always light, right? This is a time for self-learning. This is a time to grow your spiritual side. This is a time to activate, along with materialistic gains, this is a time to activate your abundances, your growth, because Jupiter is beautifully placing in your 9th house and is giving a lovely aspect to your Lagna, that is the rising house, and your sun, right? So this is a time when you have to show your mature side. This is a time when you have to behave very maturely, maybe like an old soul, right? And you have to look through the prism of higher intelligence, and you have to look through the prism of pur punyas, or the karmas of the past lives, right? You have to understand those deeper connections, those layered connections, those layered emotions of things. And it is a good time for self-learning along with everything. Money will flow to you. One thing is for sure. At your workplace, you're gonna create a very beautiful or lovely image of yourself, right? Your services will be exponentially very well, right? Especially for the ones working into counseling, hospitals, healing centers, or I would say that doctors or anything related to medical profession. You're gonna grow. And secondly, but it has all been possible because of your consistent hard work, right? And it is more of a time when you will be attaining certain position at your workplace, right? And this full moon is very special because this is the last full moon of 2022, and we will leave all the negative things behind, right? And we will start fresh, right? We will start with attracting all the abundances, right? And especially your inclination towards spirituality, towards tantra, towards occult is gonna give you beautiful fruits in this time period, right? And since Ketu has been very troublesome to you in the fourth house in this time period, so you may feel very tight or disturbed staying at home or at your place. So what you can do is whenever you feel frustrated, go out with your friends, spend some time outside, enjoying, relaxing, right? This will help you to grow in this time period. Even the ones working in the financial sectors, it is a good time for you, right? Or any kind of handling of finances, it is a good time for you, right? You can attain a good position in this time period. You might at times feel that there are certain people who do not wish who do not wish well to you or who do not want you to grow, right? And my take is that do not focus on them. Focus on the ones who are truly supportive to you, because Mars here is giving a lot of strength to this moon, right? In your 11th house. So focus on your friends, good people, the ones who, put in all the energy into you, the strong female characters, right? The strong female characters around you, right? Masculine female characters around you. They are going to push your energy. They'll be a vibe for you, right? They're going to push your energy, and especially seeking the blessings of your elders is very important this full moon for you, right? Especially the grandparents, the father or elderlies, right? You can seek blessings from them, or you can spend some time in their company, right? And you will get a lot of wise words from them. So best of luck to my lovely sign of Cancer. You are lovely people. Now next we are going to talk about the fiery, one of the most helpful sign of Leo, right? For the Leo rising and moon sign people, this is a time when you have to focus on your growth. This is a time when you have to learn about calculations, because the Mercury, Venus, the way it is placing. This is a time when you have to bring your focus on to your family, your comforts, and your well-being. And this is a time, along with that, you will also grow your profession. So manifest related to your profession, because Mars is at its total strength. Even retrograde, it is still having a lot of directional strength, placing in the 10th house along with moon. So it becomes auspicious. So be a go-getter in this time period. So some of you have been very forceful at your work, and you have been feeling as if the results are not coming out so strongly. Yes, it is true. But all the things are going to happen unexpectedly, because the way the Jupiter is placing in the 8th house, the Saturn is coming in the 10th house, all the things are going to happen unexpectedly. So make sure that you are trusting your own vision in this time period, right? And if I talk about that, your health, so you have to focus on your physical body. You have to focus on your fat consumption. Avoid any kind of oily foods. Avoid any kind of fat enriched foods, and especially because the lord of the sun is placing on the fourth house, so you might have some kind of gain related to buying a vehicle in the coming days, or buying something out of for your comfort in this time, and that can even be a better or a bigger house you might be shifting into in this time period. And since the way the Rahu is placing, your company, your set of people around you has been a big trouble for you, right? So keep a check on the quality of people that you have around you, right? They do have a impression, or I would say that they do have an influence on your mind, on your subconscious. So keep company with good people, not with the thugs or any kind of double-faced people, right? Avoid their company. But definitely you are working on your calculations, you are becoming practical at your workplace, and you are definitely growing. And especially people from the distance, or far off places, that can benefit you well in this time period, because the moon Mars combination in the 10th house, and moon being the lord of the 12th house, is giving benefits from different places, right? From secretive areas, it is giving you benefits. And especially for, because the public houses are not that active, so it is you who has to create a pathway for yourself. So you will be choosy in your choice of people in this time period, right? You will keep your circles limited in this time period, but you will keep it very, very effective, right? And focusing on just on your goal, right? And you will grow in this time period. So best of luck to my lovely Leo rising sign people and moon sign people. You have always been very helpful to others. And remember, my lovely audience, moon signs and rising signs can be different in Vedic astrology and Western astrology. Both of them have a difference of about 24 degrees, right? It is possible that if you are a Gemini moon sign in Western astrology at 6 degrees or 5 degrees Gemini, right? So it is sure that you will be 15 degrees or 16 degrees the sign of Taurus, moon sign Taurus in Vedic astrology, because Vedic astrology is the real time, the accurate placement of planets in the solar system, right? And Western astrology, it does through the adjustments, right? So the Vedic astrology considers the real time placement, and Vedic astrology is many thousand years old, right? At least from the data, it is 7,000, more than 7,000 years old. So the Vedic system always knew that the earth is round. It knew about the rotations of the Jupiter. It knew about all the constellations. It knew about all the outer nakshatras, right? Outer constellations. And it knew that it is all a 360-degree cycle, right? So it is very deep to understand, right? So best of luck to my lovely Leo rising sign and moon sign people. Next, we're going to talk about the sign of Virgo, the rising sign of Virgo and the moon sign of Virgo. For you people, this is a time when you will be focusing on new opportunities. This is a time when new opportunities will come to you, right? Because moon is placing very well into the ninth house along with Mars, right? And you have to cash upon all those opportunities, because Lord of this sign, Mercury, is now out of the mumbo jumbo, right? Out of the confusions. Now your confusions will fade away. You will have clarity in your thought process in this time period. And Mercury, Venus coming into the fourth house is giving you a lot of comforts at your home, at your place of being, right? And you will experience, right, more of easiness and comforts, right? Avoid any kind of unwanted arguments at home, right? Sun placing in the third house is making you very practical and is also giving you a lot of creative abilities, right? Especially for the ones working as architects, designers, even website designers, or any kind of creative professions. It is a good time for you to grow, right? And Jupiter placing in your 12th house, in your 7th house, you may get unexpected favors from mature people or elderly people, or you may get unexpected, leaning towards yourself, help towards yourself in this time period. And there has been a trouble with your communication. You people have been staying very rough tongued in this time period, the way your Ketu is placing in the second house, right? So avoid too much of confrontation or rude words, rough words, right? So be more diplomatic, easy, and soft with your talks in this time period, right? And especially the ones who are working into something which requires a lot of focus, a lot of, I would say that, a lot of, detailing into the things. Even you people are gonna grow in this time period. And pray to Lord Shiva, pray to the female ancestors in this time period, because Moon and Mars is in the 9th house, right now. And I would say that by praying to your female ancestors, you are gonna grow or open the doors for your growth and abundance in this time period. And go near the water body and meditate for some time and feel as if you are attracting all the abundance, growth, and prosperity. And you have to believe it, you have to manifest it like this way, that people or the universe around you is already favoring you, is already putting you in the right direction of things, right? And since the Jupiter, the way it is placing, it can create multiple options in relationship, but none of them maturing at times, right? So you have to be aware of it specifically, right? So be your ethical self, be your honest self, right? Do not go for any kind of, two timings or multiple timings, right? Avoid that kind of situations in this time period. My lovely sign of Virgo, rising sign, moon sign, I'm talking about, right? And pray for the well-being, happiness, growth of your family, and especially pray to your female ancestor. What you can do is you can light a candle or a lamp to honor your female ancestors during the night time. And you can also light sandalwood essence during the night time, and that will bring in a lot of positivity and good environment around you. So best of luck to my lovely sign of Virgo. And next we're going to talk about the sign of Libra, the air sign of Libra, denoting a lot of balance, denoting, this is a nakshatra which is very good. This is a sign which is very good at negotiating, creating balance, creativity, right? And they're very good at mediating things. For you people, there has been a lot of confusions, right? Because the way the Ketu is placing in the first house, you have been doing a lot of hard work, right? You have been overloaded with work. And specifically because the Mars and Moon, they are together, you have been feeling very emotionally tense in this time period. Remember, after the struggles, after the falls, there is always a new rise. And the darkest hours are during the dawn time, and then the sun rises, right? So your time is about to rise, and it is a time to leave your older self behind. It is a time to leave your comfort zone. It is a time when you have to go through the hurdles to become new, renewed, and stronger in your journey, right? And you have been feeling as if you are receiving no kind of support from anywhere, right? That is true. It can happen in this time period, but you have to exhibit your stronger side. You have to put forward your your willpower. You have to exhibit everything with your own understanding. Your lord of this sign, Venus, is placing strong along with Mercury in the third house. Now your communication will improve. Earlier you have been keeping all the things to yourself, but now your communication is gonna improve. Your ability to negotiate, to talk, to communicate is going to get better in this time period, especially for the ones working into the field of information technology, who are working as managers, who are working as consultants. You are gonna grow in this time period. In this time period, you're gonna grow, right? And yes, we are talking about the moon sign and the rising signs, but it can definitely influence your sun sign. So because the Mars and moon, they all both are placing together, you have to avoid any kind of aggression, any kind of aggressive behavior in this time period, right? My lovely air sign of Libra I'm talking about, right? And since the Saturn exalts in this sign, so it is giving you a journey of lot of hard work right now, right? And this hard work will pay you off, not in the very same sense that through the work that you're doing right now, but yes, it is making you stronger, it is building your character, it is testing you right now, right? But you will come out very strong in this time period. And specifically the way the Rahu and Moon, the both of them are placing, there can be a lot of differences of opinion, right? You do not have to accept the opinions of others, but you have to be acceptful that yes, there are differences and I respect your opinion. I may or may not, believe into your opinion. And make sure that you are praying to Lord Ganesha regularly in this time period, right? That will bring you out of all the confusions in this time period, right? And especially for the ones working into the construction sector, it is a good time for you. Especially for the ones working into, building something, it is a good time for you. And I would say that it is more important to, show your easy side in this time period, because you have to relax, you have to set yourself at ease, because there have been a lot of fears and phobias going on in your mind in this time period, and let it all go. Trust your journey, right? Because after death, after failures, after any kind of struggle, there is new light, there is growth, right? Let nature play its role, right? And yes, you may or will most probably have unexpected gains coming this December, unexpected gains. So either you are ready to shift, or you are ready to change your work, or you are ready to, transform your things in this time period, because I see it destruction of the old self and coming of the newer, stronger and better self in this time period, right? So best of luck to my lovely sign of Libra. You people have always been very intelligent, powerful, learning, and you are gonna stay like that. So best of luck to you people. Now next we are gonna talk about the sign of Scorpio. And please share this video with your loved ones, with your dear ones, so that everyone can watch this video. This is valid for this moon cycle, right? Especially for next 20, I would say that 14 days to 28 days, right? So do share this video with your loved ones. Now next we are going to talk about the sign of Scorpio, the rising sign and the moon sign. For the rising sign of Scorpio, this is a time when you have to exhibit your decisive side. This is a time when the sun is placing in the first house. You have to believe in yourself. You have to trust your decision making, even if it is wrong, right? You have to come out stronger in this time period, right? And because the Venus and Mercury have shifted to the fire sign of Sagittarius, So the financial health of yours is gonna go better, right? And since the Lord of this sign, Mars, is placing along with the Moon in the seventh house, this is a time when you have to focus on new ideas. This is a time when you have to look for your cooperation. This is a time when you have to avoid any kind of sensitivities with the others, right? You know, people do not find happiness in others, right? Your happiness resides in your own heart, in your own mind, in your own soul, right? The how people behave you is only your own reflection, what you feel outside, right? So if you are positive in your heart, if you're positive in your mind, no matter how many harsh words or misbehavior uh, people do, right? So you are always going to stay strong. You are not going to take their words that harshly. But if you feel your doubts, you are always gonna suffer, right? I will be posting this live. Don't worry, I will be posting this live. So specifically, this is a time when you have to leave your old self behind. This is a time when you have to leave the old toxic patterns of your relationship behind, right? Because the Mars and Moon, so it can be that old troubles or you know, the experiences, the rough experiences that you have experienced in your relationship that can trouble you in this time period, but that is for your emotional cleansing, right? Focus more on your emotional cleansing in this time period. Be your own guiding light. And especially if you are lacking self-confidence, or if you are lacking, you know, decision making in this time period, offer water to the sun. Offer water to the sun on Sundays. Starting this Sunday, offer water to the sun for one whole week, and you will see the difference in yourself, right? And especially if you are engaged into any kind of, you know, marketing, any kind of public profession, any kind of this thing, in any kind of food business, it is a good time for you to grow, right? Even fashion designers, it is a good time for you to grow. And since Sun is placing well in the first house, your creative abilities will come out very strong, right? And be soft and be diplomatic in your communication, the way the Mercury and Venus are placing in their own house, second house, Venus in its own house, because second house is naturally ruled by the sign of Taurus. So you have to be focused more onto your finances, financial growth, and you have to be diplomatic at your workplace, and you have to focus more on making good relations in this time period. And since Jupiter is placing so well, it is giving you quite a lot of higher wisdom in this time period. Your knowledge, your information will be the game changer in this time period. And you have to be honest. My dear, you have to be honest in your relationship. You have to be honest with your love, right? Because the way the Jupiter is placing, you have to be committing towards your real self, right? And you know, because Jupiter is strongly aspecting, and you know, you will be focusing more on spirituality, growing your inner self in this time period, right? Especially the moon sign of Scorpio and the rising sign of Scorpio, right? And this will also, and even for the women who are facing, yes, with troubles related to fertility or gynae issues, or any, if you are not able to conceive, it is a good time to do prayers related to this, all these things. Simply praying to Lord Vishnu, right? Chanting or putting the Vishnu Sahasranama, 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu, on your cell phone. Make sure that you're not playing the musical version of it. It should be more in the Vedic tone of hymns, right? Chanting the name of Lord Vishnu. Or you can simply chant the mantra of Jupiter. Om Gram Greem Grom Saha Gurvai Namaha. I'll repeat the mantra. Om Gram Greem Grom Saha Gurve Namaha. Om Gram Greem Grom Saha Gurve Namaha. And you can simply pray to your gurus, your teacher, or anyone whom you believe in, right? By chanting this mantra, right? It will get you rid of all the struggles, hurdles related to your fertility, right? Because Jupiter is in natural karka, significator of progeny, of a stable, even for the stable relationship, right? So you can do this mantra starting this Thursday, right? For Indians, you can do it next week. For people in US or this thing Canada and Eastern time or Pacific time, you can do it today itself, right? So best of luck to my lovely fiery sign of Scorpio. And yes, this is happening to be a very detailed reading today, right? And I am enjoying it, so stick around. So next we are going to talk about the sign of Sagittarius, my lovely sign of Sagittarius, one of the most honest, the sign of dharma, the sign of clarity, the sign of fire, the holy fire igniting in us, right? Our conscious energy, which gives us direction in all the spheres. For the rising sign of Sagittarius and the moon sign of Sagittarius, Venus and Mercury have entered this sign, right? So this is a time when you have to be witty. This is a time when you have to show your romantic side. This is a time when you will communicate all your things, right? And this is a time when you have to pray for your good health. This is a time when you have to focus on helping others, right? You heard it right. This is a time when you have to focus more on helping others. That will relieve you of your own mental anxieties of all kind, right? And in most of the cases, what I've seen that with all the signs coming in the lagna or the rising sign or anything, the Lord or the depositors of most of the signs are placing in the fourth house, right? So the focus is on the real estate property. So yes, real estate property, shifting, movement, comforts have been on everyone's mind, right? In this whole time period. So the Jupiter is placing stronger in the fourth house. So you have to focus on abundance of everyone. You have to connect with your mother in this time period, right? And you have to pray, staying at home. So you can also do a cleansing ritual of your home. If you have if you have Ganga Jal, that is very good. And if you have any kind of water, initially sitting in front of the water and doing your putting in some positive words in the water, affirmations in the water, and then add some turmeric in that water. My fiery sign of Sagittarius I'm talking about. Put some turmeric in that water and sprinkle that water all over the house and do this ritual for 1 week. And your whole house will attract abundance of one kind or the other. And if you are having troubles, quarrels, or bad relationship at home, it will go away, right? So it is a time when you have to be at your active self. This is a time when you have to groom yourself up, right? Because with coming of Venus and Mercury, there is a lot of charm and romantic energy coming in you in this time period. So you have to take the charge. If you are a female, you have to put yourself into that sphere of experiencing your feminine energy or your feminine, using your feminine charm. Don't shy away from it, right? And yes, Saturn is placing in the 10th second house. So avoid any kind of rough words with people. Since Sun has been in your 12th house, so some of you might have been experiencing some kind of headaches or pressure onto your head, right? And that will calm down. If you have been feeling this way, consume some basil leaves or holy basil in the morning, right? Or you can practice that Shirsh Asana, that is the head down and legs up in the air. And even you can practice walking in the garden barefoot and consume more of green things, more of clean things, because Venus and Mercury wants you to focus on good and clean diet, and people will start to favor you. Yes, you heard it right. People will favor you in this time period. My lovely, lovely sign of Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising and moon sign, and you people can look through both the signs, that is even the rising sign and the moon sign, whichever resonates the best with you. And it is better you have to, if you club both the readings, right? And so for the sign of Sagittarius, it is all about your personality. It is all about growing your personality, and you people can always book a reading with me. You can look at the reviews, you can look at all my page, and you can always send me a DM or an email, and you can book your personal birth chart reading. Remember, this reading is very general, right, for everyone, right? So I'll simply write it down, that book your readings, right? Because that is my source of revenue, right? Book your readings, right? And never shy away from sharing my work, right? Because by doing this, you are helping someone, right, to put them into the right direction, right? So God bless you. Now next we are going to talk about the sign of Capricorn, right? I am already doing general readings for everyone, my dear, right? So you can look into this reading according to your sign, and you can understand about yourself, because one has to study the birth chart, and everyone has a very unique placement of planets. No one is like you, right? You have to understand it, and you have to club both the readings, your birth chart and your current transits, to understand about yourself deeply. This is just a mere pinch of the salt on it is just a mere reflection of the things going on in your life. So best of luck. So do get your birth chart readings done, right? So, and you can club that with your transit reading. So next we're going to talk about the sign of Capricorn. For the earth sign of Capricorn, so it is a time when you have been putting in a lot of hard work, right? You have been feeling like a laborer at times, and you have been experiencing life in a very dull way, and you have been a good provider to the people, you have been a good help to the people, and there are chances that this moon cycle you will have quite a lot of drainage of money, right? But put your money into the right direction in this time period, like putting it on your luxury, because your Venus is placing well in the 12th house, right? And keep an account of your expenses in this time period. The way the Mercury is placing in the 12th house, definitely your expenses are going to increase in this time period, right? So keep a check on your expenses in this time period, especially, my lovely, lovely audience. And since your sun is placing strong in the 11th house, so your circle, your real-time friends are gonna help you in this time period. So keep your association well with your mature friends, with friends which come out of strong power, or who are in the position of authority. They are gonna help you in this time period. So right now the journey has been very slow for you, because the way the Saturn is placing in the first house, so you have to trust this, that slow and steady wins the race. But this is more of a time when you have to work upon your romantic energy. This is more of a time when you have to work upon your talents, and this is more of a time when you have to feel like unstoppable, right, in everything what you do, right? So make sure, and especially as I've talked about, that since 5th house is very active, so make sure that you are, and if you are into education, teaching, business, this is a good time for you to grow, because the way the moon and Mars, they are in the 5th house, right? So teaching, aligning with the kids is a good opportunity for you, right? But there has been a lot of dry spells, I would say, that when it comes to, or I would say that you have not been enjoying your work lately, because the way the Ketu is placing in the 10th house, there has to be you have to do serious restructuring related to your work, related to your profession in this time period, and that will help you to grow in this time. And simply chanting the mantra of Saturn will speed up your task in this time period. Simply chanting Om Pram Prim Prom Saha Shanishwaraya Namaha. Om Pram Prim Prom Saha Shanishwaraya Namaha. Do it 21 times starting this Saturday. And you can also light up a mustard oil lamp. Or if you do not have such kind of lamps, you can just light a candle, right? On Saturday, specifically in the southwest direction of your house. That will help you to get rid of any kind of negativity in this time period, right? And so best of luck to my lovely sign of Capricorn. Now next we are going to talk about the sign of Aquarius, the rising sign and the moon sign of Aquarius. So for the sign of Aquarius, this is a time when the combination of moon and Mars are placing in the 4th house. So it is quite a mixed situation for you. When it comes to gains through your investments, it is a good time, but you're still not feeling at peace at your home, right? And the Lord of the sign, that is the Saturn, is placing in the 12th house. You are staying cut off, you are staying aloof from the people around you, and that isolation has becoming more and more addictive to you, right? So make sure that you are engaging around with people, you are focusing on forming good connections, because the Lord of the 7th house is placing well in your house of profession, right? People will help you to grow professionally, right? You are just looking at the wrong direction, right? Look for right kind of people around you, because even this retrograde Mars is providing strength to the 10th house. Do not take people around you as your competition or with the factor of jealous, but make sure that you are more on the terms of cooperation, right? Even if they are from different streams, they are from different fields, right? Support each other. So by this, and you will get better support from them. This is for sure, because the way the sun, being the Lord of the 7th house, is placing in your house of profession and in a strong water sign, right? So anything related to investigation, anything related to deeper research is gonna benefit you in this time period. Your house of friends or house of gains is very active in this time period. So definitely you are gonna gain in this time. Be more, and yes, you will also put forward straightforward talks in this time period, right? You will be very straightforward in your talks in this time period. And yes, you can lose onto your sleep, because the way the Saturn has been placing for you, you might feel as if you have too much of overload, and you might feel anxious because of it. And if you have been feeling so, simply again you can chant the mantra of Om Sham, Shum, Om Sham Om, Om Sham Om, Om Sham Om. And by doing so, you can attract positivity, growth, and newer opportunities towards yourself. And again, people working into hospitality, creative things, or even owning, any kind of, land properties, they are gonna gain in this time period, because the way the moon and Mars, and yes, because of all these disturbances, you might feel of shifting or changing your place in this time period. And my take is, yes, you can do it in this time period, right? It is good for you. And you people have been very tight with spending your money, right? So spend money at least on the things that you need, right? Do not tighten up your finances. At least spend the money on the basic things, right, in this time period. And because it's in the sign of Rohini, in the fourth house, so you can offer a good lunch or food to your family, lunch, dinner, or food feast to your family members. That will be the remedy for this moon cycle. So do it. So best of luck to my lovely sign of Aquarius, a very deep sign, a very humanitarian sign. Now next we are going to talk about the sign of Pisces. For the sign of Pisces, a very emotional, empathetic, loving and gentle sign, right? This sign means freedom, liberation from everything, right? For you people, this is a time when you have to focus on your wise side. This is a time when all the reality checks are happening with you, because the way that Jupiter is placing in the first house. So you have to learn out of those situations. You have to understand those situations deeply. And you have to be very balanced in your opinions, because the way the moon and Mars, the way it is placing in your third house, you might feel as if, it is very challenging to deal with people. But that's not the truth. It is our own state of mind which makes us feel that way, right? And I see it this way, that the strong placement of Mercury and Venus coming into your 10th house is definitely giving you new opportunities at your work or your business. Anything related to management, anything related to your traveling, transportation is good for you. And even anything related to education thing is good for you, because Jupiter is strong in the first house, right? And even finance, dealing with finance is good. So you have to plan your things well in this time period, and you have to avoid your relatives or your distant cousins in this time period. If somebody is asking for any kind of money or any kind of, sorry to say it this way, any kind of help, please cross check it. Do they actually need that help, or is it that they are fooling you in this time period, right? Because there have been incidences that people have deceived you in the past, right? So beware of such situations, right? And since the Jupiter is placing the first house, you will be definitely inclined towards spirituality, meditation, wellness, and you will always also exhibit a lot of committing behavior in this time period, right? And your friend circle is bound to grow, but slowly and steadily, because you have become very choosy about the people around you. Since Rahu is placing in the second house, so you will use limited words with your talks in this time period, and you will be, yes, very choosy about your friend circle and the ones you communicate with. That is all right, that is good. But make sure that you are being very fair and clear in your dealings. People also relating to law profession, making contracts, or any kind of firms which are into all these things, even you are gonna grow in this time period. And people will have a very supportive temperament towards you, right? And make sure that you are putting in all the real-time efforts at your work, because that is gonna help you to grow. Even the ones into dealing with any kind of transportation or shifting of items, right? It's a good time for you to grow, right? And it is more important to work upon your personality, because Jupiter is in the first house, and to outgrow your own foundations and learn through your situations. Overall, this is a very good time. Yes, because the way the Ketu is placing, you can experience some kind of intestinal troubles or troubles related to your legs or any kind of, numbness or lack of sensation in your legs. If you have been feeling that way, it is the time to do your stretchings. It is a time to focus on foods which are good for your nervous system, that will help you to release your anxiety, right? My lovely, lovely audience, right? So this moon cycle is a time when you have to focus on your growth, prosperity, and abundance, right? Because the moon is falling into the sign of Taurus and the nakshatra of Rohini, the reddish one, the most beautiful one, right? And you have to focus on your attraction, and you can do the mantras related to attraction, or you can even pray to Lord Brahma, because Brahma and Prajapati are the rulers of this nakshatra, right? And if you are into beauty related profession, fashion, creative professions, even as an occultist, as a healer, this is the right time to plan your things and grow in this time period, right? And definitely you have to exhibit your strong-willed side, because Mars, along moon placing opposite the sun, Mars and Mars and moon are at equal degrees in the fourth pada of Rohini Nakshatra, right? So you have to show your strong will, your stubbornness, I would say that at time. And along with that, you have to exhibit your contentment. You have to stay at peace. But at the very same time, your materialistic desires will also come out strongly. And I wish that this full moon brings it a lot of prosperity, growth, and abundance, right? You can simply chant the mantra of Lord Brahma, Om Brahmai Namaha, Om Brahmai Namaha, Om Brahmai Namaha, for today and tomorrow, right? Simply this mantra will help you to get rid of your anxieties, right? And make sure that you are, and yes, this Mars and Venus will also make you very indulgent, right? Even your sexual passion or desires may get too much evoked in this time period. So keep a check on your energy, right? And utilize that energy into the right direction, into lifting your love and romantic side and universal love side, right? So God bless you, my lovely audience. And this reading is according to the Vedic astrology signs, not according to the Western sun sign, moon sign, or rising sign. Vedic astrology signs, right? So God bless you, my lovely audience. Please share this video with your loved ones, right? I'll be doing the prayers and meditations along with it, right? So God bless you. Have a very lovely day. Take care of yourself and stay safe, right? And remember that apart from all these planets and everything, you are the creator of your own destiny. This is what the moon in Rohini means, right? You have to believe in this. God bless you. So take care. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.